You're listening to The Parallel Paths, a podcast designed to elevate your mind, body, and spirit so that you can get everything you want out of life. The only question is, are you ready?
Do you have a business or looking to start one? Establishing your online presence is key. Bluehost makes it quick and easy to get your website up and going, making it an ideal solution for beginners with its fast loading speeds and variety of features. Powering over 2 million websites, Bluehost offers a full range of hosting services, SEO, and much more, all at budget-friendly prices. Sign up today for web hosting as low as $3.95 per month. Click our link in the show notes for instant access to this incredible deal.
Welcome back to the Parallel Paths podcast. I'm your co-host, Makeda Moore.
I'm your other co-host, Blair McClendon.
And we're back this week, continuing with our series about how we can heal the Black community. And this week, we are talking about false idols, because our only way to healing is through the right leadership. And as of now, I don't know if that's what we have. What do you think, Blair?
No, I think it's a lot of media and Hollywood-driven figures that are put in front of our community, even athletes, who are given a certain agenda and may not have the full education behind it, and definitely take it and run with it, influencing our people to do the same.
Yep. And I agree so much. The first thing that came to my mind, beyond, like, when we think about idols, like somebody who people look up to, people follow, people take their word as truth. Beyond just individuals, I also think of like organizations. So the first thing that popped up into my mind was Black Lives Matter. Because even though it seems to, like, I think we just have to realize that even though things seem to be for us, there are always so many layers to things. And you really got to do your research to really look at, okay, who is giving this organization or this person money?
Exactly.
Who are they? Who's really behind them? Because it'll seem as if this is for you, but ultimately behind it is really not. So we just got to, use our third eye.
Yeah, you got to stay aware. And then, like Makeda said, like, really research on particular areas. Like, if it's something dealing with like a health matter, I know the popular name that everybody floats around is Dr. Sebi now. But this is somebody who I knew about years before it's actually coming to the popular forefront. So Dr. Laila Africa, KT the artist degree, these are people who will definitely drop gems in certain areas. And I mean, they're among a list that I can go through some different names here in a second, but just kind of pinpointing a certain area, there are people who are truly, I guess, people that you could put on a pedestal, or that we should put on a pedestal, as opposed to the popular pick or the star, the idol, the actor, the actress, or whoever is just on TV playing a role. It's actually real people out here doing real work that we should be idolizing.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, it'll take digging. I mean, we, from our page to the people who we, will put in the show notes, are people to follow who are really out here doing that work, who are really out here in the mud. And they understand that a part of that sacrifice is that they're not going to necessarily have that immediate income or that celebrity. But that's not what the real people are looking for. They're not looking for celebrity. They're not looking for, a ton of money. They're looking to help empower and enlighten the people. And sometimes that comes at certain sacrifices. But ultimately what we're saying is that, you have all these celebrities, but what are they really, really doing for the community? What sacrifices are they making? Yesterday, I was talking to a gentleman, and he was saying how this new position that he took, which was to help young, Black and brown boys and girls in their community through mental health, it required a significant pay decrease. And he felt it was part of his duty because he was about his mission versus, the income that would benefit him. And a lot of these leaders out here, people who we see as leaders, the ones who are most influential, and for us, it's the hip hop community and the athletes are the most influential to us. But it's like, okay, beyond what they're being paid to say, what is that person really doing in their life? And is that somebody who you want to model your life off of and follow?
Yeah, for sure. Again, money talks, and even with everything going on in our country, from this mass sickness, um, the politics and all that stuff, follow the money. Where does the money lead to? So Makeda mentioned Black Lives Matter. Follow the money. You'll see who's funding it. You'll see it's some BS. So I think it definitely takes just a lot more light being shined on the true leaders, and the truth just overall. I think a lot of times, again, it's how media perceives things, or how they spin it. They tell you what they want you to see and what they want you to hear. So, I mean, we definitely, I can say, have some athletes and stuff who are doing great things for the community. They're giving back. They're putting in their seeds. But at the end of the day, what the bigger ones, like the ones with these 8, 9 figures, like these are the people who can truly make an impact in some different areas. Um, and I mean, to me, I always see, I guess, people on the lower end of the scale making some of the bigger impacts than people on the bigger side of the scale, who could really tip the weight in one direction or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And to expound upon that even further, we always talk about like a Black Wall Street, and pooling together money big enough to just buy a piece of land wherever. I know this is being done in Georgia, where they're buying up, like, what is it, 400 acres or whatever to make a town. I can't remember how many acres, but it's places like this and things like this that we're going to have to do as a community to truly build and be for self. So it definitely takes a village, and I think it's just allocating our resources and attention to people who are truly invested in building that.
Mm-hmm. And I think a big part, like when it comes to you deciding who to truly follow, again, I mean, I know Blair already emphasized it, but it's all about where is their funding coming from? Because when someone is being funded um, outside of their community, their leash is only so long for, like, and they can see like, oh, he's speaking truth. Are they talking about this issue? They really about it. But
To
they
an
can only
extent.
go so far. Exactly. They're only allowed to go so far before they're going to be reeled back in, or before something's going to be something to be done to them to undermine their credibility. So really pay attention to where you're getting your knowledge from, and with anything, even the things that we talk about on here, we have to get used to fact checking, and not just taking things for what people say. Like, I mean, for some people, I just like, if what they said resonates with my spirit, then I can take it for what it is. But we have to get used to being our own investigators, questioning things, not just taking things for what is said to us and just going with it, but actually using our critical thinking skills and being guided by your intuition and your spirit, really tapping into your intelligence. And that'll lead you to the right leaders. You'll be able, like, real recognizes real. You'll be able to see who's really about it versus who has been created and shaped and coached into being a leader. And I think a important topic today is these election results. Like,
Yo,
talk about false idols.
man, you really got people out here um, split 50-50. Let's just call it what it is, and portraying and giving out way more hate than love, which at the end of the day, it's all about love. I mean, but you literally got people out here um, cutting off people because they voted for a certain people, or they didn't vote, or whatever the case may be. You have people just losing their minds right now over two candidates that were given to you that truly do not give two flips about you.
Nope.
So, I mean, like I always say, this is literally like the Lakers versus the Heat. You still in the NBA, you still got somebody above you. So are you chosen to get the racism or whatever thrown straight in your face? Or do you want some backdoor stuff and just getting stabbed in the back? Choose how you want to get screwed.
Right. Yeah. And I think like I remember when Kamala Harris first, I think it was when she first announced that she was going to be the running for vice president. I walked into one of my meetings, and my supervisor, who's a white woman, she was like, "Oh, this is a great day in history. Aren't you so excited?" I was like, "I don't really know Kamala. Like, yeah, she's a biracial woman or whatever her nationality is, but that doesn't necessarily represent me and my values just because of the color
Exactly.
of skin. Like,
Exactly.
I don't know."
Just like Barack didn't. Like,
Right, right. And I
yeah.
think we get so defensive about that. And I think that defensiveness, especially when we talk about when, try to say anything against Barack, it comes from that
Lord.
sense of ignorance and like fear of, okay, that I didn't do my due diligence. And like I think it's a fear that there's more work that you need to do. And you rather just take the easy route out by just saying, sure, I'll listen to him. Or yeah, this marks this. Like, no, Barack being in office did not stop police from killing Black men. Like what really changed?
What really changed is it made us more passive and sweep a lot more stuff under the rug and turn a blind eye to a lot of stuff. That's what happened to
We
me.
had hope.
It created even more and more sleep. So
Mhm.
again, like that's one thing I can sincerely hope that happens with this, is just that people don't fall back into that same sleep. Like, continue to wake up, continue to question stuff, stay on these folks' neck just because it's a different administration or whatever. Stay on these folks' head.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Okay. And what else? So okay, I'll name some of the
Uh,
people who I follow who I feel like are genuine leaders, especially for this millennial generation. Riza Islam, Red
Definitely agree.
Pill, the twins, Red Pill and Blue Pill,
For sure.
Derek Grace. So I'm naming right now. I'm
For
naming the
sure.
shifters. These are part. They're all part of the shifters. Um, 19 Keys is part of the shifters. Billionaire PA. Ajna. I can't remember her real name. Um, who else is part of the shifters? But these are all people who are creating gardens, who are teaching financial, like generational wealth, teaching people how to start businesses, teaching people how to write books, teaching people the laws of the land. These are young, melanated men and women who are out here really about this grind, who aren't about to be pushed around by the system, and they're doing the work. Um, who else? Yeah, that's primarily where I've got a lot of my knowledge and connections to, is from, I started with the shifters as my group, and Blair's introduced me to other people like KT, the arts degree, and who else do you tap in with?
Black Magic 363, uh, Billy Carson. Um, and then I go through a lot of like older teachings too. So um, Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, um, Dr. Phil Valentine, C. Freeman L is good. I mentioned Dr. Sebi, Dr. Lila Africa. Uh,
Queen Afua, teaching women how to heal themselves, heal the womb. What about music artists?
Artist. I really listen to stuff that resonates with me. Like I mean, I definitely like Skip Marley. To me, he's carrying on what his grandfather did, Bob Marley, of
Mm.
course. But him, Big Sean been talking some good stuff lately. I like Mick Jenkins, Earth Gang, Spillage Village, one in the same, tied together. Um, but like anybody from those camps, So that would extend on to like J. Cole's um, Dreamville.
Mm-hmm.
Dreamville be talking some good stuff. Uh, I like a lot of jazz. If you listen to a lot of older jazz, you definitely pick up on some spiritual essence
Mm-hmm.
from the past. So I don't know. I can go on music for days, but
Yeah, Jared Blair is the go-to for music, for where I get a lot of my music from. I think other music artists, of course, Nipsey, really just
for
teaching.
sure.
Um, and then also hearing some good things about Rick Ross as far as ownership and financial independence. Um,
I
um,
think if you want to visualize, manifest some stuff, definitely
Wiz
with
Khalifa?
for sure,
Interesting.
for
Okay.
sure.
Okay. Um, of course, for the ladies, for us to get us in our goddess feminine energy, Erica Badu, of course, Lauren Hill. I just discovered Lizzie Jeff, as well as a goddess named Lava, all talking about really just stepping into our power and sensing that, which is, I think once we can get ourselves to a higher level of consciousness, and everything else will fall into play. So any artist who's really talking about higher levels of consciousness, who's talking about, mind power, crystals, manifestation, cleaning and purifying your body, being independent financially, who owns their masters, things like that. Those are the artists that, as far as in the music industry, who are more so leaders. And like, as we said before, with any leader, any person who you're gathering knowledge from, still use some discernment, and think about what follows or what aligns with your spirit, and do your extra research if you have to.
Yeah, discernment is key. So like even if you Google something, don't just take the first link as that being fact. A lot of this stuff that we're talking about, a lot of the truth is going to be found in the book. They know that's where most people are not looking. So even if you can find a PDF version of something, try and go with something that's been published or something that's out of circulation. Even if you can start to find some rare reads and just some different things that you can educate yourself on outside of just the basic internet. You also got to see who's behind the internet. It's a lot of censorship that comes with the internet, social media. So uh, be cognizant of what they're flagging as being false and stuff like that too. 9 times out of 10, that shit probably gonna be the truth.
Yeah, all these conspiracy theories that they talk about, shoot, it's most of it's not just theory.
Right.
It's fact. Conspiracy.
Right.
Um,
It's
oh,
like,
and
oh, we
another
don't need that out there.
another artist came to mind was Kevin Gates. His transformation to coming into awareness of self is speaking volumes now. But I haven't checked out his new album yet. But just watching the way in which this man speaks and communicates, it's on a whole nother. This man talking about hugging people and hugging his enemies and things like that. So he's definitely come to a level of awareness, spending more time in nature. Him and his wife have a farm now, and they be on their farm. He don't really be in the city like that, because he understands where the energy is. So really watch the way people move, because especially now more than ever, we are headed into a things are changing. Basically, I don't know the best way to describe the time we're in, but this is a time of great opportunity for us to really, you know be greater participants in the game, rather than just kind of being pushed around. This is the time for us to participate and begin to change some of the outcomes of this game that we're living in. So, it's the time to tap into yourself, to grow your mind, grow your body, get stronger on all those levels. Um, Tap into some knowledge, read a book, drink some water, all that stuff.
For sure. And like Makeda said, it is a game. So the more knowledge you can take to the game and the more that you know how to play the game, it starts to become a little bit easier. And there's also a fact that just because they've laid out the game to be a certain way does not mean you have to play that way. So come to the game with your own game, bring your A game, but we trying to give you a little game too. So I hope that all of this stuff is just being stuff of value for you. And these are certain things that you can take and do your own research on and start to question some stuff for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so that's this episode of the Parallel Paths podcast. Be mindful who you following, where are they leading you? Is it bringing you more happiness, more power, more growth, or not? So tap in with us. We'll put some of the leaders who we mentioned in the show notes. Support Black business. We talked about that last week. Wearing a sweater by Dress Code. So Black business. I'll put the link in the and then Blair is, of course, repping the Bonafide FLA. We'll put that in there as well.
Got the alumni tee on. It's a big weekend for us. Had to beat them Georgia Pups this weekend, so
the only time Blair watches sports.
For real. That and maybe a little bit of F1.
All right, y'all. As always, peace and love. Like, share, comment. Let us know your thoughts. We love to hear from our community. Yeah.
Peace.
Hey, Parallel Podcast listeners. Don't forget to check out our own personal brands. If you're looking to learn more about mindfulness, mindset, and meditation, catch me live on Instagram every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or schedule a free one-on-one consult with me. All that information is in the link in my bio at Makeda Smiles. Also, if you're looking for anything health and wellness related, check out Blair's Instagram at 3 Layers of Wellness for links to his website and resources. And for all my Floridians, don't forget to check out bonafidefla.com. That's bonafidefla.com for all things Florida. You can find all of this information in the show notes as well. Now back to the show.